Welcome back to Wealth Geniuses. This is Nate, and today we are going to go through a few quick topics, starting off with the Trump tariffs, just a few updates. We'll go through a video that really goes through some of the impacted businesses on the tariffs. Then we're going to cover this Investly and Investly RRL that I stumbled across. We'll also cover Sherry Brydson, who's definitely a wealth genius. I think she is known as the wealthiest woman in Canada. And then we also got, I saw some interesting things with the brick, a lot of information that I didn't know about, and Shaq being involved with that. And we will wrap it up with that for today and then get back tomorrow. So let's start off with the tariffs update. Doesn't seem like anyone's budging so far, but let's hear this new CBC News video on tariffs.
The new tariffs are expected to deliver a blow to Canada's economy and the labor market. So looking into that this morning, senior correspondent and host of CBC Morning Live, David Common, with us this morning. Nice to see you on this Sunday.
Good to see you as well.
Okay, let's talk the sectors, because so many different sectors are impacted and not in the same way. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, there are different sectors that will be impacted in different ways. Some that will be lightly touched, others that will not be. And that will, according to economist Trevor Tombe, lead to job losses. If I bring up a board for you here, you get a sense of some of the impacts here. So plastics and rubber products manufacturing, when it says minus 4.6K, 4,600 jobs could be lost. I want to point out that this is not immediate. It is the effect over the long term of these tariffs pricing in.
So again, as I said yesterday, the profits are going to get hit, and you got to make that decision whether to pay your employees or eat the profit or take a loss. So jobs could definitely be impacted by the tariff decision if businesses aren't making the profit margins that they need to sustain and pay their employees.
Furniture. Yes, we make furniture in this country, quite a bit of it that gets exported to the United States. 4,900 jobs there that would be impacted. You see the different colors there. The red, I'm colorblind, Marianne, so you might have to help me. There is red there,
There
right?
is definitely red, and there's some blue.
There's some blue. That's very helpful. The red there indicating the direct job losses, the blue, the indirect. Computer and electronic product manufacturing, a big number there. It is one of the most exposed sectors that is primarily in British Columbia. And I would want to point out to you that when we talk about direct and indirect, so you think about some of those products that we see there in front of us. When we are talking about indirect losses, it's more about, for instance, the truckers. So if furniture is made or electronic products are made, well, somebody has to ship them. If there isn't product that's being shipped because it's now too expensive, there'll be job losses in that sector. And so, for instance, transportation looks at about 5,000 job losses.
Wow. Yeah, the trickle effect is amazing when you really expand to see the true effects and impacts here. And each province across the country impacted differently as well.
Absolutely. And look, Ontario, the most exposed when it comes to job losses from these particular tariffs. Why is that? Partly because of the industries that have been targeted, partly because Ontario is the most populous province. And so as I look at my indicators here, 36,000 jobs in Ontario could be lost again over time as these most recent tariffs get priced in. Already there have been job losses in Ontario in the auto sector and steel. We know that, we have seen that. And those aren't the only places. There are smaller businesses, of course, that are impacted. Quebec looking at a loss of 18,000 jobs, BC 11,000 jobs, Alberta 9,000 jobs. That is interesting to see because Alberta has relatively little exposure to these most recent tariffs, about 1% exposure, and yet the way it hits could cost about 9,000 jobs in that province. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, about 2,500 each. So, you know, you get the sense when I look at Atlantic Canada, they're considerably smaller numbers. Nova Scotia, a bit more exposed than the rest of Atlantic Canada. But it does give you the sense that there is pain that is being felt unevenly across the country.
And we knew going into this, BC, Ontario, Quebec,
Yep.
they were going to be hit harder. But interesting to see those other provinces, Saskatchewan, Alberta, the impacts there, when you look at the direct impact of the tariffs, not as high as the other parts of the country.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about job losses, though, because Canadians hear that and they worry, what will that mean for our unemployment rate? We saw major job losses, of course, during the pandemic. Here we are now with these tariffs. What does that look like overall?
Look, I can sit here and I can say to you and I can say to folks, oh, you're relatively well off in this particular province. But if you've lost your job because of these tariffs or previous tariffs, of course it matters to you. If you are a small honey producer, honey is being impacted here. You and I have talked to people in the honey industry, producers whose entire business is gone now because of these tariffs. That is a very personal thing. For you, the impact is 100%. But broadly speaking, Canada's economy has weathered this tariff storm better than some had expected. We have seen the unemployment rate, in fact, drop in recent months. Only ever so slightly. It has been relatively static, a bit so ups and downs, since the imposition of Trump's tariffs at the beginning of his first term, his Liberation Day. Why is that? A whole bunch of reasons. The tariffs don't hit everything. That's part of it. A lot of the trade we do with the United States is still being respected by CUSMA, covered by CUSMA, and so is duty-free or close.
So for those that aren't aware, CUSMA is the Canada, United States, Mexico agreement. It's a free trade deal between Canada, the U.S., and Mexico, of course. And this came into effect July 1st, 2020. But I'm more interested in does the tariffs at any point impact the agreement that they made, because it involves taxes, but I think some stuff might be covered by, let's just find out actually. How do the American tariffs on Canada impact CUSMA? Directly bypass and severely undermine CUSMA by stripping away the duty-free protections that the trade agreement was designed to guarantee. Following the August 2026 collapse of trade negotiations between Ottawa and Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump implemented 50% on roughly $20 billion worth. Escalation impacts CUSMA and broader bilateral trade in several critical ways. The U.S. has applied 50% tariffs directly over CUSMA rules, meaning even CUSMA-compliant goods such as food and alcohol and ice hockey equipment must now. So this voids the whole CUSMA agreement. What is the impact of breaking the CUSMA agreement? Let's find out. Breaking, terminating the CUSMA agreement would shatter North America's integrated supply chain, strip away duty-free protection, and trigger a widespread economic crisis across Canada. Collapse of the trade talks between Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and the Trump administration. The risk of the agreement entirely dissolving has moved from a far-fetched scenario into a severe economic threat. If the deal is formally terminated via its 6-month withdrawal clause or allowed to expire, the consequence would be severe. So the same impacts happening now. It looks like Trump doesn't give a damn about the agreement, and there's no real punishment. It looks like it was just something on paper, but he's changed his mind on that.
To duty free. A lot of that is ongoing. It is still to this day. Part of it too is government programs to help support these industries, to keep people employed, perhaps in different ways. So there have been mitigation techniques that have been used. How long they can be used, because they require government borrowing, how long that can go on is another question. But we have weathered this, economists say, better than many had expected.
And Prime Minister Carney said that help is coming for Canadian families, Canadian workers and businesses. We don't know the exact details of what that help will look like, but that is supposed to be coming in the next few days. At
Yeah,
least.
and now we don't know what that will look like. I think the government is almost certainly working overtime this weekend trying to figure that out. We've seen programs for steel and softwood, aluminum, the auto sector to a certain degree, the auto sector. But there have been programs already for those heavily impacted sectors. Would there be something in the vein of what we saw during COVID? Almost certainly not, given some of the experience there. There's not just going to be something for everybody out there. Having said that, they've got to figure out the right balance here to try to keep that resiliency inside the economy.
Yeah, some kind of certainty, at least financially, for some of these families and businesses. Thanks so much, David.
Thank you.
All right, so still some uncertainty on what's the next plan of action. Carney says he's going to go dollar for dollar, so we'll keep an eye on what happens there. Next on the agenda, we're going to be looking at Investly. So I was just on the gram, and I saw that there's this Investly IRL event happening, I believe, this week. It's a free event, and so then I just went down this rabbit hole of who the heck is Investly. So it looks like Investly is a robo advisor by Fidelity Investments. So Fidelity Investments opened up a subsidiary called Investly. So I'll pull that up. And Investly is an easy to use investing app that simplifies your money goals, guiding you from your first dollar sign up. So it pretty much asks you a bunch of questions, and then based off your answers, tailors a portfolio. And I believe there's Bitcoin in it as well. And it pretty much gives you a platform or an investing robot. I don't know the mechanism, but I know RBC has Invest Ease or something of that sort. I can double check what the name is, which is similar, and it's an app. RBC Invest, yeah, Invest Ease. So that would be the competitor, and it's from Fidelity Investments. Investly, they're fairly new, so there isn't really much on their profit margin or public information other than they're under the umbrella of Fidelity Investments, which I believe holds 400 million assets under management. But there's not much information on how much profit they're making under those assets under management. So let's just check again how much the business is worth. I believe it was 400,000, but 400 million were the assets under management. So people are investing. So whatever Investly does make, it would just fall under the Fidelity Investments umbrella. Let's see what their profit. Fidelity Investments reported a record annual operating income of 12.7 billion for 2025, representing a 24% increase over the previous year.
When you hear investing event, you're probably picturing a room full of people in suits. Not this. Investly in real life is different. Join us at the Welcome Market on Saturday, August 29th from 1 to 6 p.m., where we're bringing investing into the real world with interactive experiences, conversations, and giveaways. This is your opportunity to learn more about your investing options, how to get started, and hear practical insights from people building businesses and growing their wealth. Whether you're completely new to investing or already investing for your goals, there's something in it for you. Make sure you come with Investly downloaded, link in our bio. See you at Investly in real life.
All right, so there's that Investly
Link in our bio.
happening August 29th, as you've seen, at the Welcome. I have no idea where that is. Let's look that up. And it looks like there's going to be some investing discussions happening. So looks like you lose nothing, you gain everything by learning. It's at the Welcome Market, which will be at 938 Queen Street West, I believe, the 29th. Let's see here. I believe that's this Saturday. Yep, this Saturday. And this is the location, the Wesley. Or the Welcome Market. I've never been there, but it looks like it's on 938 Queen Street West near Trinity Bellwoods Park. So definitely something to check out. But we'll keep an eye on Investly. Well, Fidelity Investments is the owner, so we won't look into it as much. But interesting to see that there's robo-advisors now being implemented. I do anticipate other financial institutions to start using that rather than you calling somebody and them asking questions. They're probably going to be replaced by robo-advisors. But we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe there's some information that can come out of Investly. But we'll keep it moving. So next up, Sherry Brydson. So I'm just going to pop up a video here. Wealthiest woman.
Not be a household name, but she is one of the most influential figures in Canadian
Let's rewind
business.
that again.
Sherry Brydson may not be a household name, but she is one of the most influential figures in Canadian business. As the richest woman in Canada, her wealth is deeply rooted in one of the country's most powerful dynasties, the Thompson family. Unlike many modern billionaires who seek the spotlight, Brydson has built and preserved her fortune with remarkable discretion and a sharp investment mind. Born in the 1950s, Sherry Brydson is the granddaughter of Roy Thompson, the media tycoon who created a global...
So those who don't know, the Thompson family runs Canada. So I think they consume, their family is like the top 5 or top 10, maybe 6 of them is all Thompson descendants. So she is a descendant of the Thompson family. Of course, she married, so that's why her last name is Brydson, or I think it's Brydson or Brydson, but let's keep it going.
Publishing empire. While she inherited part of this legacy, Brydson chose to carve her own path rather than simply follow in her family's footsteps. After studying at York University and working...
So yeah, in the Brydson or the Thompson family, she's one of 6 billionaires of that family. Roy Thompson is the head honcho. He passed away, of course. 1976 is when he passed away. But yeah, Thompson family, richest family in Canada by far.
As a journalist, she transitioned into the world of finance and private investment on her own terms. Today, she holds a significant stake in the Woodbridge Company Limited, the private holding company that owns a controlling interest in Thomson Reuters. This company is not just a media brand, it's a global leader in legal, tax, and financial data, used by top institutions around the world. Brydson's share in Woodbridge makes her a key player in the information economy, even if she rarely appears in headlines. In addition,
she keeps a low profile as well. I tried looking up, of course. You'll notice that a lot of these wealth geniuses and millionaires, billionaires have no social media presence at all. They'll keep it low key. Sometimes they're barely in the news. She's barely in the news as well. She's not up there in the videos and dancing in the videos and all that. She's keeping it low key. When you're sitting on that kind of money, you don't want everyone knowing your business either. But she's not flashy. I mean, some of you might have never heard of her until today.
Stake in Woodbridge, she independently runs Westerkirk Capital, her private investment firm based in Toronto. Westerkirk owns assets in aviation, Healy, hospitality, Four Seasons Resort Whistler, and real estate, reflecting Bryson's preference for long-term, tangible investments. Her strategy is clear: low profile, high impact. What makes Sherry Brydson unique is her commitment to quiet influence. She avoids media attention, rarely gives interviews, and stays focused on long-term value creation. Her business philosophy mirrors the Thompson family tradition: cautious, disciplined, and built to last. In a world that often equates visibility with success, Brydson proves that true power can move in silence. Through her strategic holdings and understated leadership, Sherry Brydson has become a model of modern wealth stewardship. Her story is a reminder that influence doesn't always need a microphone; sometimes, it just needs vision and patience. Woven into Sherry Bryson's story is the quiet but commanding presence of the Woodbridge Company Limited, the private investment vehicle of the Thompson family. While it may not be widely known to the public, Woodbridge is the powerful engine behind one of the most influential companies in the world, Thomson Reuters. Headquartered in Toronto, Woodbridge serves as the primary holding company for the Thompson family's investments. Its most notable asset is its controlling stake in Thomson Reuters, a global leader in information services. The company provides data, analytics, and software solutions to professionals in law, finance, tax, and media, serving governments and major corporations in over 150 countries. What sets Woodbridge apart is its long-term vision and quiet control. Rather than seeking quarterly headlines, it focuses on building sustainable value over decades. Woodbridge is structured to maintain stability and control within the Thompson family, allowing the business to grow without interference from short-term market pressures. It exemplifies a form of modern capitalism rooted in stewardship, not speculation. For Sherry Brydson, who is believed to be Woodbridge's largest individual shareholder, the company reflects her values: discretion, foresight, and an unwavering commitment to intelligent investing. It's not just a holding company, it's the legacy of a family and the platform for one of the most enduring information businesses in the modern world. Together, Brydson and Woodbridge represent a rare model of wealth: patient, purpose-driven, and remarkably resilient in a fast-moving financial world. Sherry Bryson's business success isn't just the result of inheritance, it's the product of a distinctive and thoughtful philosophy that sets her apart in the world of high finance. Her approach to wealth and leadership reflects a blend of old-world discipline and modern strategic vision. It's a philosophy rooted not in headlines or personal branding, but in quiet resilience, intelligent stewardship, and long-term impact. At the heart of Bryson's management style is discretion. Unlike many billionaires who build their public identities through interviews, speeches, or social media, Brydson prefers to operate behind the scenes. This isn't just a personality trait, it's a conscious choice that allows her to focus on performance over publicity. In a world where visibility often competes with productivity, Brydson has opted to let the results of her investments speak for themselves. Another key pillar of her business philosophy is long-term value creation. Through both the Woodbridge Company and her private firm, Westerkirk Capital, Brydson chooses investments that are built to last. She doesn't chase trends or high-risk gains. Instead, she emphasizes fundamentals: reliable revenue, stable growth, and enduring relevance. Whether it's data-driven intelligence through Thomson Reuters or tangible assets like luxury real estate and aviation, her portfolio reflects a commitment to substance over spectacle. Stewardship is also central to how she manages wealth. In the Thompson tradition, wealth isn't seen as a trophy, it's a responsibility. Brydson has continued that legacy, ensuring that her investments are not only profitable but also responsibly managed. She surrounds herself with experienced professionals, delegates with trust, and values strategic patience. Her decision-making is guided by data, expertise, and a quiet confidence in long-term thinking. Despite her enormous influence, she maintains a low-ego approach.
All right, so it looks like this AI thing is just regurgitating, restating everything that was said initially and just fluffing up some stuff. So we'll just skip all that. Sherry Brydson, hands down, the richest woman in Canada. They said estimated net worth of 12.1 billion, give or take. Again, with a grain of salt, that could be far off or far more. But yeah, she keeps a low profile. So if there is anything that comes into the news or anything she does, we'll keep an eye on it, keep you guys posted. But as of right now, doesn't look like anything's happening other than her growing her fortunes, making sure her business is successful, and doing a great job at it. So kudos to Sherry Brydson. who is doing a fantastic job of clearly a wild genius and someone definitely we'd want to sit with if given the opportunity. But as you see, she doesn't do any interviews, so good luck on that. And to finish things off, next up we will discuss the Brick partnering up with Shaq. So I went down a rabbit hole actually with this. So let's go to the Brick. So first I'm like, is the Brick even, because this came out of nowhere. So I came across.
Are you looking to buy something?
Are you a salesman?
I am.
Kitchen table and chairs.
Let me see what you like. You're a grandma?
We have 17 grandkids. Yeah. I'll show you a picture of our grandkids.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder if she even knows who she's talking to. If she knows that, yes, it's a tall black man, but does she know that this is Shaq?
That's nice. So you like this table?
Yes, yes.
You sure? That doesn't seem like it's enough for all the kids. Because guess what?
What?
It's free today.
Are you kidding me?
All yours. Congratulations.
Here.
From the Brick and from the Shack.
Thank you, Brick Furniture. You're amazing.
So I was like, okay, what's going on here? So it looks like the Brick is partnering up with Shaq. So as you can see here, so it looks like Shaq is partnering up with the Brick. It's funny that he's partnering up with the Brick, because if you know the Shaq lore, his free throws were terrible. All he did was shoot bricks. I think later on in his career he got way better with coaching, but he couldn't shoot free throws to save his life. So the fact that he's with the Brick, shot bricks, is funny, but let's keep moving.
I struggled with my bad couch symptoms for years. Then I talked to my doctor about Shaqapedic, and he said Shaqapedic is not a pill, it's a furniture collection, and it eliminates bad couch from day one. They're built tough, packed with immersive features, and as comfy as a cloud.
Those prone to napping should use Shaqapedic with caution. Tell your doctor if you are allergic to comfort or being comfortable in general.
Talk to a furniture consultant at the... I struggle with my bad couch symptoms. You want the honest answer? I'm two different people. So when it's just regular Shaq's fabric. When it's a fancy Shaq, leather. Oh, built-in charging ports essential. Oh, super essential. You know why? You don't have to move. So before I sit down, I got everything set up. Refreshments, phone charge, remote, I know where it's at, because as soon as I go like this, I'm done for the day. Oh, nap on the couch. Nap on the couch. No blankie. Recline though. Lights off. I'm a vampire. Big TV. What kind of question is that? If you're ever in Canada, you need some furniture, think of the place that reminds you of my free throw.
There you go.
Brick.
All right, so good banter on that. So I ended up looking, so as you can see, the Brick, based on their Instagram, has been around since 1971. But then I went further down the rabbit hole, and it looks like it's now owned by Leon's, and they bought them out for $700 million in 2013. And it's under the group LFL. I believe it's Leon Furniture. I don't know what the L stands for. Let's check. Leon's LFL Group. Leon's Furniture Limited. So they bought them out for $700 million in 2013. In terms of net worth, I think Leon's, again, take it with a grain of salt, may be worth about $1.71 billion, including the acquisition of the Brick. And they got the CEO, which is Michael Walsh. Pull up right here. And this is their leadership team. Or it doesn't look like it's showing anything here. Just his name. There was, let's see. Yeah, here it is. LFL Group, Michael Walsh. He's the head honcho of the brick. Looks like from what I read, there was a stock value of roughly 4 million that he has. And when we look at the stock value of Leon's, which I've never even looked into, but I believe it's trading at $24.90. And it went up 746% since inception in 96, as you can see here. So if you invested in Leon's in 96, I believe they were at, $2.94 a share. You have made 746% or 47% on your return if you've kept it that long. So, and if you can see here, the trend is going on the up and up. So that's always good. Slow burner, but still making money. It's still trading good. It's on the positive end. So Leon's is looking good. They've partnered with, well, their subsidiary, The Brick, is, I guess, carrying Shaq's product. It doesn't look like Shaq is doing any partnering. Looks like he just went above and beyond as the face. The branding is perfect with him shooting bricks, like he said, and partnering or doing a in-store appearance at the brick and giving out furniture. So we'll keep an eye on Walsh and the Leon's brand and the brick to see what happens with the companies there, how they're progressing, how they're profiting, and what's the latest and greatest. But that is it for today. We will return tomorrow. We'll probably go over if the EYL episode comes on tonight. I'll rather take some notes if possible and then come back with a digested compact version and skim through a lot of the fluff rather than going through a 2-hour episode with you guys. Unless you want me to go through the entire episode and just freeze, pause, and I might get copywritten struck. So I'll probably just get the Cole's notes of what happened and then go from there. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Well Geniuses, also visit Well Geniuses on Instagram. WellGeniuses.net is under construction, but once everything keeps, as we're progressing, we'll get things moving there. And if there's anything you want to see more or less of, let me know in the comments. Again, once again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.